Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu, pakhair agale, ni hao, chunashumme, washmane. Ohio gozaimasu, guten Morgen, hola, boyo, privyet, kaifa hal? Hale shuma chatore, ahlan wa sahlan, marhaba. Buna, mucho, gracias, swabia, bhalli kare aya. Hosh galden and ayo sayo kale mera, ladies and gentlemen, khairutan, and a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning. Alongside my very well-learned colleague who happens to be Miss Hajar Satti. I happen to be Shahzad Hassan Khan, and we hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well, that you're ready to kickstart your day with us. But first things first, hello Hajar, assalamu alaikum, how are you feeling today?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much, Shahzad, for the introduction. It's the winter season going on, and especially when it comes to the tourism, I think after the Christmas and after the New Year Eve, the prices of the air tickets really dropped down, right? So if you were given an opportunity, which one particular place would you like to visit and why?
In Pakistan or outside Pakistan?
Outside Pakistan, of course.
Outside Pakistan, I would love to visit. I mean, I've been thinking about it. So I've been to a lot of places now, but I think I would love to go to Turkey. I think that's one
you
place.
You haven't seen Turkey?
I haven't seen Turkey.
Okay.
I've landed in Turkey, but I have not seen
transition.
Turkey. So that's one place which I would love to see because a lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of people have spoken about it as well. But unfortunately for me, that I've never got a chance to be in Turkey. But other than that, I think may it be US, UK, Europe, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, I've been everywhere else in the world. So I think for me it's Turkey. What about you?
Okay. So I think I would like to really go to China because it's a very older civilization. It has lots of civilizational value as a country, and also it is our neighbor. So China, it's on my top of the bucket list because since it's New Year is coming on and people talk about the resolutions and traveling and whatnot. And also I would like to go to Spain. I haven't been to Spain because Spain has also very rich civilizational history. It has a particular...
Exactly. And not just that, since you're saying that, because China happens to be our neighbor, there are other neighboring countries as well, So
yeah, because China has a very, I told you, it's one of the oldest civilization, right? And the person who proselytized the Buddhism in China was born here in Sawat, and he went there, crossed the mountains, and had all those proselytization of Buddhism and whatnot. So that is why you will see the lots of monks, they visit Pakistan, especially the Gandhara civilization, and they visit all of those places in which the Buddhism flourished, in which is one of the oldest religion, right? And it is closely integrated with the spiritualism, and it is closely related to the self-awareness and consciousness part of it. And nowadays, I'm also dwelling on this particular topic of our consciousness and of our higher beings and connection with the nature. And I think nowadays, especially with this incessant chatter going around ourselves, especially on the social media, on the news, on whatever, it's high time that we take a break and reconnect back to our nature, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much, because you put it so beautifully well as well. And there was this one book which I read about monks as well, so it just rang a bell and, it spoke quite a lot about...
Have you finished it?
No, I haven't finished it, but yes, there were places where, the author has written it beautifully well that, okay, these were the places that I visited in China. Not just that.
Right.
There was one more thing which you have said, and that you said that, it's more about consciousness and self-awareness. So one thing which I would love to start my day with, or our viewers who are out there, is that comparison happens to be the thief of joy, and that's something which I would want to share with our audiences. So please make sure that you're not comparing yourself with anybody, but rather what you were yesterday. That's the only message. And today, we have a program lined up in a way that we certainly want our future generations to be healthier. What are we talking about, Hajar, today?
Of course. So nowadays you see there's lots of, it was not a trend that
I thought you were going to talk about me, so I was like, no, don't do that. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say that. But nowadays, generally, once there's lots of conversation, or it's a trending thing. Obviously, the trend didn't started overnight of the smoking, right? And especially smoking, which is prevalent among the young people, among the youth. But the different manifestations of smoking that have now become, especially on a market shelf in the form of different products like vapes, like whatnots, and you were telling me about something new product that is even more harmful than the smoking, shisha bars and whatnot, and people sometimes do it just out of the fun aspect of it or just out to party out there, but then they develop the addiction for that and how dangerous it can become. So obviously there's a very famous English maxim that smoking is injurious to health, right?
Smokers die younger.
Yes, and we see that written on every smoking packet. But unfortunately, we also see that there's lots of trend where people tend to gravitate towards the smoking. So how to prevent that, and how to develop the conversation where we curtail this very heavy smoking lobby that is always active, especially in the very powerful places where they are able to enact the laws or curtail such sort of laws that are anti-smoking, right?
Because if world over we are going to kind of witness it, I guess that it's not just a $1 billion industry, but it's a $1 trillion industry.
Yes,
and the core motive of today's program is that the way these tobacco companies have been promoting or propagating about their products is something that we would want to talk about. You know, so whenever vapes came in, people said, hey, you know what, there's not a lot of paper burning in it, you know, so it's healthier. That's not the case. Okay, then there was these tobacco heating products, you know, which came into the market, and people had the same thing to say. I have an instance to share with you guys as well, but before we do that, let us introduce our wonderful guest. So Haja, why don't you take the lead?
Without any further ado, we would like to introduce, because ladies first, of course, Dr. Maheen Malik. She happens to be Director South Asia Campaign for Tobacco Free Kids. Assalamu alaikum, Miss Maheen, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for joining us. Over here, please.
Walaikum assalam.
Right.
Thank you so much, very kind of you.
Joining Dr. Maheen, we are really glad that we have also been joined by Malik Imran Ahmad Saab, who happens to be Country Representative Campaign for the Tobacco Free Kids. Assalamu alaikum, Malik Saab, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here.
Please have a seat.
And so very quickly, I think we should take our seats too as well, and then we'll get started with our conversation. And that is that, so there was this, you know, incidents, which it's not really an incident, but you know, it occurred with me, and that was that, you know, I was traveling from Malaysia to Abu Dhabi. I met this gentleman in Abu Dhabi, and so we were at the smoking area, both of us. You know, now people know that, you know, I'm into this bad habit as well, unfortunately. And then he was like, why are you still smoking? I was like, what are you doing over here, you know, in the smoking room? And he had this very fancy product in his hand. And he said, you know, so with this product, what happens is that it actually heats the tobacco, but, you know, there's no paper burning, so it's not harmful, and you get nicotine. So, you know, we see that these tobacco companies come up with such promotions one way or the other. Is it really, you know, do we say that, you know, this is statistically correct, that whatever the gentleman was saying, or is it not?
Yeah, thank you very much, first of all, for inviting us. And I think this is very important topic because it relates to our future generation and the future of Pakistan. And exactly what you are saying is the one that the tobacco industry is propagating through their narratives and through media, and engaging with the kids through social media, through print media, and whatnot, propagating that, you know, all the new products are less harmful, and they say they are, you know, best alternative for smoking. But the research so far that has been conducted throughout the world does not suggest this. It says they are either equally harmful or in some cases more harmful. For example, people have, you know, they think that vape is not smoke, but that are aerosols that contain some very dangerous carcinogens in vapes, e-cigarettes. So not only you are taking in nicotine, but you are taking other chemicals which are not present in normal cigarette. I'm not saying normal cigarette are less harmful or what, but they are equally harmful. And people are confused. They are being confused deliberately by the tobacco industry by engaging with a lot of celebrities, not only in Pakistan but world over.
And you know, in addition to this, there's one more thing which I would love to tell you, and it's all because of the fact that, you know, I had this experience myself, that, you know, these nicotine pouches that we see, these vapes that we see, and these cigarettes that we see actually belong to one company only. You know, it's not a lot of companies, you know, doing business over here in the country as well. They're affiliated with other tobacco companies across the globe. And so what they do is, I think that there are only two bigger tobacco companies groups which actually kind of are functional over here in the country. And so pretty much everything lies under one umbrella, you know. So because when we look at the branding aspect of it, we think that, okay, this is a different brand, that's a different brand, that's a different brand. That's not how the case is. So now let's talk about vapes, nicotine pouches, let's talk about these heated products, and then smokes itself.
Yeah. So if you see the packing of these new products, they are so, I mean, beautifully packed as if, you know, they are something very special, and the effect of coolness in them is specially propagated by the tobacco industry. You know, for Velo, I would say, if you see, they have started this Velo station just like a Coke studio is a Velo studio. So they want to allure all the young ones to take up this. But if you see the contents of Velo, in one pouch there is 20 mg of nicotine in one pouch, which is equal to 4 cigarettes.
Yep.
So what they are giving to our young kid is way above the normal dose that they can get from smoking.
So then let's talk about, is it less harmful? Because see, this is another way of fulfilling your nicotine need just because of that you're habitual of it now, unfortunately. So do you think, because what they're not saying that it's not harmful, what they're saying is that this might be lesser harmful than the regular cigarette smoking.
So again, this is a deception narrative. So there is nothing less harmful in nicotine. When you say nicotine, it's harmful. Less or no less doesn't matter.
Okay.
So whenever you take it in your body, you are taking harmful chemicals in your body. And not only nicotine, then you have other products that are coming into your body, which can challenge your body in a very strange way, and that can create diseases.
True.
So there is no safe, no less harmful. It's equally harmful and should be avoided, and especially in the kids. When you make it cool, that means you are telling the kids to take it because it doesn't have any impact on your body.
Yep.
And that is the narrative that they are trying to create, and we are trying to tell the general public through media that this is not cool. This is something you are making
Damaging
your
your
life. Yes, of
Right,
course.
right. So, Dr. Mahi, let's come to you, because we see in the West especially that women consume or smoke more cigarette than the men. And if you analyze their marketing campaign, so they were very successful in attaching the concept of women empowerment with the smoking. So if you are smoking, you are more empowered than others. And we have seen that the power of narrative is so much that till this day we see that the people are addicted to that. So do you believe that the anti-tobacco narratives, what do you feel is missing in that particular narrative of the anti-tobacco campaigns, because they are unable to curtail the impact of very strong sort of campaigns that are coming from tobacco companies?
Thank you, Hajra. And it's just that, yes, that's true, that's how they have been marketing all these products. And I think they're targeting youth, they're targeting children, and they're targeting women. Because that's kind of like a new market to them. Most of the men that were smoking perhaps may be at a stage that they have already a disease or something. And so that share of market is going out. So how do they get more people? I think that's by targeting them. They're making it show on television through dramas, through different media campaigns, how one may look cool. And this is a misconception, a myth that, it's about women empowerment.
And all the heroes, they're smoking and just
exactly.
appears very
and
cool
they show it in television that, if a hero or somebody is tense,
dashing,
then they would just be smoking. So people think,
yeah.
a villain too. And so that's a wrong perception that exists. And it has nothing to do with women empowerment. If you want to do something else that can really empower women, why cigarette?
Right. So then again, what is missing in the anti-tobacco narratives? Do you think that they're unable to fulfill, or market through the competition, kick out the tobacco campaigns that are?
Well, we don't have the resources, I think. The financial resources, the tobacco company can put into these campaigns. Is no comparison to us, the anti-tobacco. So we look for more, how can we increase the human resource? How can we increase awareness? And that's how our organization works, making sure that there is more awareness. So people understand, as Imran was saying, they're saying less harmful. But the word harmful exists.
Yeah.
So focus on the word harmful, don't focus on less or more.
But then again, if you, and if I see your NGO or your social activism against the anti-tobacco campaigns, so what is the essential strategy that you're dealing with? Because like we mentioned about, before, these tobacco companies, they're very powerful in terms of the money they hold, and in terms of the lobbying they have, especially in the powerful corridors, the way they are able to, around the world, influence the politicians into not implementing the laws that are anti-tobacco, right? So what is the strategies, your campaign, and how do you dwell on that?
So our organization Campaign for Tobacco Free Kids, as the name indicates, while it is mostly about kids and
Why
adolescents
particularly
and
kids?
youth, however, we do advocacy and policy changes. That's what our work is about. So we also reach out to parliamentarians. We also reach out to the CBOs and local NGOs. We reach out to social media activists. So that, because then, as I said, we don't have the resources, but we want to create those human resources, and we're trying to make sure that we work with the ministries very closely so that the laws within the countries could be compliant with the FCTC requirements by WHO. Then we engage the civil societies to make sure that they're raising voice, that they're raising awareness, and we're reaching out to youth so that they can also, you know, there's a lot of, when there's peer pressure, at least they listen and.
But you know what, I'm sorry, but I'll have to say this over here. I have to be honest with my job. They have their own separate printed packets of cigarettes as well. So I don't know whether how that voice is going to go reach to millions of people out there as well. So if that's the step you need to take, please make sure that you take it too as well. But very quickly, moving on to Malik Imran Sahab now. So Imran bhai, now let's talk about the scientific research behind it for all of these products which are in the market. How do they get to the market, even if we know, you know, there are similar, I mean, a lot of authorities out there who are supposed to keep a check on whether the, you know, the products which go into the market are harmful for people or not.
So basically, tobacco industry has a, you know, a big resource, as Mahin was telling us, and they always walk through the loopholes that we have, that every country has in their laws.
Okay.
For example, if you see in Pakistan, nicotine pouches, e-cigarettes, they have no laws. So they are just sold out to the market without having any law for us either to regulate it or to ban it. India fortunately has banned it. Pakistan is working on it. We are working with the health ministry to get it banned so that, you know, young ones don't get addicted. But again, saying tobacco industry, whenever it wanted to penetrate into the market, they always target the celebrities, because celebrities are then their vehicles to go to the young ones to make it look like a normal thing, a fashion, you know, a thing that is in for a time being, a heroic thing, a macho, some kind of thing, and that is very dangerous for any country, you know. And we also reach to the celebrities. We sensitize them. We tell them that, you know, this is something you are propagating is not good for them. And most of the celebrities, when they come to know that whatever they are propagating are trying to become a vehicle for that, they just step back, and that's very good of it.
Don't you think, Malik Saab, that once you are addicted to smoking, it is such a, I would say, addictive thing that's very difficult to detach yourself, right? But just reaching out to the celebrities and saying that, how effective is that campaign?
No, I absolutely agree with you, and a very good point in that. And that is why we always look for policies that's, you know, that protects our young ones. So most of the smokers, like 95% of smokers, they start smoking at the age of 13 and 15. And once they are addicted, as you rightly said, you know, it's no stoppage. And if they are stopped from that age, from being a nicotine addict, you know, they will never smoke or hardly smoke. I mean, hardly 1 or 2% people will smoke after that. One more thing is in addiction is that, you know, we don't, this is a gateway to the drugs, which is the biggest problem for our country. There are 2 companies that have now been apprehended in Karachi, which were putting hashish in e-cigarette liquids.
Oh my God.
So that's a big concern for us. So people will never know, the parents will never know that the kid is not taking only e-cigarette but a drug.
That's
exactly. And you know, so there are 2 more things which I would love to kind of talk about over here, since we are talking about smoking and whatnot. I think, you know, because if I take you back in time, this is something which my father told me, that his grandmother used to smoke hookah or pipe, that's what we say. And then the narrative was, and you know, certainly there weren't a lot of tobacco companies out there at that point of time. You know, it was a simple procedure of patiyan on the walls, and then you would smoke it, and you know, it would actually increase your metabolism, or if somebody had any metabolism related issues, you know, it was sorted with that as well. So don't you think that these companies today exist because of the fact that there is demand out there for their products? You know, that's the sole reason why they still exist. And not just that, in Pakistan we have seen that to curb this menace, the price hikes. Imagine that that a pack of cigarette which was 150 rupees, probably a year ago, is for 1000 rupees. What else do you think needs to be done? Because they pay a lot of money in form of taxes to the government as well.
Yeah. So, first let me tell you that according to the figures by the government of Pakistan, 175,000 people die every year because of smoking. We are losing like 650 billion rupees every year because of the diseases that are caused by tobacco. Now, the tobacco industry, always know that their customers never go old. They die young. And when they die, they lose a lot of big market. And in order to, sustain that market, they always target the kids who are a long time, replacement customers for them. Tax increase and affordability reduction is one way to stop kids from getting cigarettes. The other way is, the sensitization of the people, the government, the mass, and there are a lot of other tools like, if you have a very bad picture on a cigarette pack or a plain packaging, that is another thing that can stop young ones from taking the cigarettes on. And then advertisement and promotion. Tobacco industry do CSR. Absolutely. And if you see, if you go to a marketplace and you see a shop, you will see that the packs are placed right where the kids want to see them. Right, and besides the candies or biscuits or something like this, and at their eye line. These are the things that tobacco industry especially care, because they want the kids to take these products. And if we and our people that are power, if they take the decision that they don't want their kids, our future generation, not to become nicotine addict, they should take these steps, and we are there to help them out.
Wonderful. And it's great as well. So towards the end, very quickly moving back to Dr. Maheen over here. So Dr. Maheen, one last thing. How much of a role do you think that parents needs to play? Okay, we're talking about the tobacco products and the companies who made it, but I guess that it starts from home as well. It starts from every household where a father was smoking, a mother was smoking, or a grandfather was smoking. So what can we do?
I think there's a lot of responsibility on parents and household to make sure that we could curtail this use. Very recently, I found out that even there are online food ordering apps like Daraz and Food Panda, and they have nicotine products listed as like people can order. So parents need to even keep a watch on what their kids are ordering, and then we as parents have to make sure that we don't smoke, and that goes true for you too, to make sure that we're not smoking.
for making me feel this way.
Because we are the first models for our kids, right? So they kind of like follow on us as well. So we have to make sure we raise awareness. We talk to them about the harmful effects of nicotine and of tobacco. And so let's all just pledge that, as parents, we'll make sure that we are telling our kids.
Obviously, I think the best teacher is that how you, because kids imitate you or not, right? So, and that imitation, if you have a good character, if you have a very strong precedent set out, especially in your personality, so that is how kids are going to learn from you. And obviously, I think in this age of 21st century, parents also needs to be more sensitive towards the needs of their kids. And the old methods of parenting are no more workable, right? So thank you so much, Dr. Maheen. Thank you so much, Imran Saab, for coming here, for having this wonderful discussion regarding the anti-tobacco campaign. And we are going on a short break after we come back, because we are talking about your health, protecting yourself.
And there's one thing which I would love to add over here, because what happens is that with smoking, you would always experience that, that you have dark circles, that you're getting wrinkles, you're getting so much on your skin, whatnot. And obviously, it's deteriorating your health as well. So how to fix that? A quick fix for that. Not obviously, you will have to stop smoking to kind of get rid of that. But a quick fix, ladies and gentlemen, coming your way right after the short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying tuned. We were kind of arguing about something which has been a long lasting debate for all of us, and it's because of the fact that the guest over here in the studios happens to be one of my relative, and Hajra thought that this is that maximum option that she's going to get, and she was like, did he got chocolates for you? Which I did. You know, it's not that I did.
She was looking so surprised. I don't think so you got the chocolates for her, but you're just covering it up as usual because of conjuicy. But anyways, we will discuss it some other day. So we are very glad that we have been joined by someone who happens to be a beauty with brains in our studio, and she has graced us with her presence here. She happens to be Mrs. Aisha Farooq. She is the CEO of Aisha's Lasers and Aesthetics. Assalamu alaikum, Ms. Aisha, and thank you so much for coming to us.
Thank you so very much for inviting us over.
Okay, you have a lovely skin, I must say, and I have to compliment it. With the skin type of yours, you know, how to make it more, or especially with anyone, because you deal in such sort of areas. So how to look after yourself, especially when you're wearing makeup, sorry, pardon.
Actually, it's not a one-day thing. I would really say that if you are going to have some event or if you are planning to do some makeovers, so you have to start it like maybe a week before or maybe 2 weeks before, because if you can see there are any imperfections on your skin, if you see any acne is there, you see any fine lines are there and if there are any spots appearing on your face. So you have to start preparing it at least 2 weeks prior.
Exactly, which is why, you know, so ladies and gentlemen, what we have done is that we have requested one of our senior producers to please, you know, kind of be under the spot today for all of us. She happens to be Miss Anam. Thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here.
Thank you for
and
having
thank you
me.
so much for taking out time for our show and you know,
Thank
dedicating yourself towards PTV work. It's wonderful to have you. And from Aisha's Laser and Aesthetics, ladies and gentlemen, we are very lucky that we have been joined by Miss Saira as well. Saira Api, thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you. So, what are we doing today?
Shahzad, as you told me, we are going to do a party makeover on her.
Yeah.
We have already done her base. We have prepped and primed her skin already with our oils, hydrating sprays. So her skin is already done, base is half done.
Yep.
So we are going to show you how are we going to do the eyes now.
Wonderful. So Miss Anam, you know, do you have a question related to your skin and the makeup products that they're using or anything that, you know?
Yes, before coming to the show, I was already asking her that every day, every morning, we prepare for office. So what could be done? What essential oils or what base could be used? We could use, you know, which are, you know, handy and can easily be done on our
Especially
skin.
winter season, right? Because you feel a lot
Dry
of flaky
skins.
skin. Yes, yes.
As usual, I just saw her skin and I examined it initially. So she has a very soft skin, mashallah, but she had
Saira Api, aap shuru kar de.
but she had like some of the open pores, what I could see had like a little fine lines over
Yep.
there. So if you are going for the daily makeover, I would say that you would be needing some of the for sure hydrating sprays because your skin needs to be prep and primed before any kind of makeovers.
Okay.
And there is a thing like if you are having some of the open pores, so you need a pore minimizer for that.
Okay.
And you are going to use the maybe liquid base for that because it's going to be absorbed in the skin and your pores are not going to show that much.
Okay.
But if in any other situation you are going to go for the daily makeup look, you can have some of the oils and very light bases with you and
What
maybe very
exactly
subtle.
oils could we use on our skin? Because I've always heard about hair oil.
Clog the pores,
No,
yes,
no.
yes.
No, no.
There is a range of oils. There are different brands what you can use. For example, I really use the NYX one. It has a little glitter in it and it just makes your skin dewy and glassy.
Okay.
So whatever you apply on that, it just glides on that.
Okay.
yes.
So
Okay.
it's not like that you're blocking your pores or anything.
No, no, no. It's
Because
just
I
going
think
to
I've done it.
glide.
I put like sarson ka tel on my face one day as well, and somebody told me, "Oh, what are you doing?"
So that please
with
don't
your
do
skin?"
that. Don't do that. It's
I
going to
didn't
make
knew
your
about
skin
it, yeah.
greasy, not glassy or glowy.
So I think it's
yeah.
more of your subject. You know, I will feel a little left out. Please go on. Continue with the conversation.
Okay, so and when you come to removing your makeup, because obviously whenever as a working lady, if you are
Yeah.
putting some sort of makeup on your skin, so what exactly is the cleansing routine that you would want anyone who has put up makeup to follow? It's because especially in the winter season, or especially with the people like us who are appearing on the media, we are adorning very heavy makeups, and then we face acne issues and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Actually, this is a very important part. Many of our ladies, including me, we just don't remove our makeup. We just go, we just go that way. We just sleep that way, and when we wake up,
I
the
do
eyeliner is
that.
here, the mascara is there. Yes, that is very important, and you need to keep a good cleanser with you.
Okay.
You can also have
Is
that
there
baby.
any, natural cleanser that you would recommend, like in sort of desi totkas? if
No,
you
I don't.
want to
I
go-
don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Anything
I think I
is going
remember
to work
one
with
thing,
that.
you know, our mother used to do, because, you know, while we were growing up, so I wasn't really in a habit of, you know, washing my face like with the
Yeah, I
soap
remember.
properly. So my mother would take a moisturizer and then rub the towel on my face and like, ye lo sari mail gayi. Because that's one thing. But can you please take us through the steps that what's actually happening with our senior producer
And
over here?
before
go there?
that, can you please continue with the answer, because obviously it's important.
Yes, for sure. We can have the good cleanser. Definitely not any totka is going to work there.
Okay.
But for sure you can have that baby lotion with that, and you can use a cotton pad with that, and you can always remove the eye makeup first
Okay.
and then go ahead with that.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's very necessary. Once you are done with the makeup removing, then go wash your face with a good cleanser.
Okay.
Okay,
And then put a moisturizer on that. So when you wake up in the morning, your skin is also hydrated all over
Right,
again.
right.
So can I go
So
there?
you'll have to
Sure.
sit over here and then let us know, because your mic's not hooked up, which is why, you know, so you'll have to sit side up. Some request karte ab dekhen. So what's happening?
So we, as I told earlier, we have already done the eye base. We
Yep.
have done the skin base as well for the face.
Yep.
Now she's putting the glitter on to finalize it, and afterwards we are going to do the maybe thin liner on her with a mascara on.
All right,
So
well, that's
to complete the look.
You feeling comfortable? Everything's good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
But Miss Aisha, we've seen that there is this, especially in our society, obsession with the fairness and with the whiteness, and I mean, people applying really, really light bases, which is not really going with their skin. Obviously, we do not condone any such sort of narrative in which, you know, we are endorsing that only lighter skin is a good skin, or it's a more complexion that is more desirable. But people do have this complexion. So what would you recommend to, I mean, dispel such sort of myths and such sort of
be confident about it.
Actually, we always face this problem that people coming to us and they say that I want to go two-tone lighter maybe. I feel
Yes.
if you're happy that way, you're going to some event. If you want to do that, why not? You know, let yourself be happy. But we are here to guide you. So for sure, we are going to tell you, don't do that. You are born very beautiful. You can enhance your own features rather making yourself somebody else.
Right.
So you know, we are here to guide, but if you want to be that way, there's no harm.
I
That
think that the-
can also be achieved. You're going to event, you need to be happy as well.
That's fine,
But
that's fine.
yeah.
But the only problem is now imagine that, you know, if I'm at an event, my face looks brighter than my hands. You know, I think that's a very different story of what happened, you know. So I was under the sun or what, you know.
yeah,
So
it's not going to look nice, of course.
So what do you
Definitely
do? Would you recommend, okay, we get that point that if somebody wants that, okay, you will deliver that. But then would
Yeah.
you recommend that, okay, please do
Never,
your arms
ever.
and hands and everything?
Never, ever.
It's like dipping in the makeup then?
That's why we are here to educate you. Definitely, I'm going to recommend you what I'm thinking about that, the look you require. So, you know, 19-20 karke,
Yeah.
so we can fix the things there.
Exactly.
So,
And what about people, you know, who might have like, you know, a lot of times people are very skinny and they're like, hey, you know what, you know, I want to look a little bigger or a smaller
Sure,
or a
yeah.
little chiseled. You know, so are there techniques for that?
yes, of course, we face many kind of, like there are shapes of faces.
Yep.
So there are square faces, there are oval faces. The ideal face, what we idealize and we target to achieve is the oval face.
Okay.
So definitely if a square face is coming to us and they want to look like little chiseled, definitely we are going to make a contour. If the
Okay.
forehead is big in a square face, so we are going to contour the face, we are going to make the jawline chiseled. But definitely in a square face, the cheekbones are already high, so we are not going to make a contour. So there has to have a harmony in your makeup.
All right.
What you are wearing, the kind of makeup look you want to achieve. So there has to have a harmony in everything.
And what are some of the new makeup trends that you would, as an expert, like to elucidate to our viewers?
Yeah, they are the kind of trends these are going. That is a glossy look, glossy look, dewy look. The skin needs to be prepped very nicely.
All right.
So the other things are secondary, but your skin has to be clear, transparent. So that's what makes your makeup outstanding.
And nowadays there are lots of conversations regarding the nude makeups or zero makeup look,
Yeah.
right? And people are really obsessed with that. So do you
Yeah.
think it's trendy and it's more achievable look? And what sort of faces, what sort of personalities would you recommend that they should go for
And I'm
that?
sorry, I'm going to bring it in, but we have a product line for that as well. You know, people, please go ahead and check out Amel Cosmetics. You know, I think you'll certainly find that as well.
Of course,
Please go on.
that is one of my favorite products. That's very hydrating, and we use in everyday makeup as well.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, so coming back to Hajar's
The
question.
no makeup,
Yeah,
zero
the
makeup.
no makeup look, I think that is the most difficult thing to achieve.
Oh.
Like it's not that easy, and it takes a lot of effort, and everybody can pull it, and that looks amazing. For sure, if you are having light eyes, light makeup, it's just you yourself, it's not showing anything. It just looks effortless, but it's not effortless, of course.
Yeah.
There's a
Wonderful.
lot of effort behind
so,
that.
So let's go
and the
back to Miss Anam, our senior producer, who's getting ready. All smiles, yes.
Saira,
so-
can I have a look?
Saira, people
थोड़ा सा
actually
हमें
give you.
दिखाइए। ठीक है जी, we are almost done with the eyes. Only
Yep.
the liner is left. blush is done already. We are using the liquid blush on her that is easily absorbed in the skin. And we are going to top up our liquid blush with the dry blush as well.
And what sort
Powder
of,
blush.
I mean, makeup would you recommend, especially on the working moments? Because when you're walking into the office, you want to look attractive, but you don't want to be a distraction in the workplace, right?
Yes.
So how do you think we can be more toned in with the work environment, the office environment?
I would really recommend for the daily routine or the makeup for the workplace, that has to be very subtle.
Right.
You can easily go with the light pinks,
Okay.
nudes.
And what sort of products do you think, if someone is wants to apply it, so what sort of products do
We
do they use?
definitely cannot go with very heavy products. So for that we use mostly the powder products.
Okay.
So the powder blush, powder eyeshadow. So we are not going to make it shimmery or glittery. And you can make your eyebrows, just don't make them very sharp.
Right.
Just keep them subtle.
And since we're talking about eyebrows, there are multiple other techniques of, I don't know, we call it eyebrow pigmentation, or something else as well. You know, we have a few visuals to share. Please take us through, you know, who needs it and why do they need it?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
over there, the pictures over there.
And I think we also need to shed some light, because Dr. Aisha, you are the expert in the field.
She's not a doctor though.
I'm a stylist, yeah.
Okay, sorry,
Esthetician.
it's my bad. So Miss Aisha, so we want to talk about the pigmentation, right, and the melasma, and nowadays we see that lots of young women, they are suffering from this condition, or I don't know whether it's called disease or not, right? So, and young people are suffering from that, I don't know, because of the UV rays. So how can we protect our skin from such sort of, you know, very...
There are very simple techniques what we can use to protect our skins. Definitely we are going to have it in certain age because the sun is very damaging on our skin, and we are on our daily routine, we are not opting for any sunblocks. We are not putting, most of the time we are not even putting the moisturizers. And the myth about the sunblock, what many people do is they just apply it in the morning and they think that it's going to last for maybe for 7 hours. No, it doesn't last.
So how often do you think we should apply it?
We should apply it after every 3 hours.
Okay.
If you're facing the sun, yes.
Too expensive?
Let it be.
Why is it
It is most
expensive for a rich
expensive.
man like you who
Skin
has
is
stocks
most
of chocolates in our house?
Okay, Miss Anam, do you want to say something?
Right now,
Or do you want to see a mirror? Or do you want
Yes.
to do you want to check whether how you're looking as of now?
yes, do you have a mirror?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
Miss Saira, do we have a
Sarah,
mirror?
can I have a look now? Okay, great. We are done with the eyebrows now. We
Right,
have kept it very
I
subtle.
think it's turning out very nice, mashallah.
Yeah. And only
What
the
about the lipstick colors?
lipstick color for now, we are going to keep it like kind of subtle. We are going to go in pinks,
All
matte
right.
pink, because
do-
the
do-
eyes are already very glittery.
And what if she has her own choice that, okay, you know, you might be doing her makeup, but she's like, okay, I'm not comfortable with
Okay.
pink, I'm comfortable
Miss
with
Anam, you
yellow,
can tell
whatever.
me what do you want to apply on your
Whatever you think.
See?
is
All right.
going good
Wow.
with my
It's like
makeup.
it's like a good healthy relationship.
Very
that we see.
harmonious relationship.
Yeah,
you know,
we-
this is the
we
question as well.
always-
So imagine how important it is for any beautician to have a good relationship with a customer, because or the customer vice versa.
Oh my God,
because
that's a must.
Imagine if somebody is not really being nice to the beautician, do you think that they can ruin it for them?
Or beautician is not
actually-
understanding the needs of the client. I
Yeah.
think that's very important. because-
Actually, we are there to help them. We are here to make that ambience very casual, very friendly for them. They may be having some troubles back home. So, of course, they are going to come here with that mode. But, you know, we are not there to, you know, enhance
Got to counsel you for what
yeah,
happened
yeah,
before.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
we are here to make them more comfortable.
Wonderful. So, you know, we only left with 5 minutes. Saira, आपकी 5 minutes है आखिरी.
Quick
You know, so we
lipstick.
have to finish it. Whether I don't know whether I would look nice
Yeah.
saying it or not. If you have to do the lipstick or whatever, you know, please
Quick
get it
lipstick.
done.
Quick lipstick. Shazad, do you want me to touch that, the eyebrow pigmentation?
Yeah, sure.
you
You know,
were
so
earlier-
very quickly, because we were sharing pictures of that eyebrow pigmentation and what it can do for people. So can we please go back to that, and I will ask Ms. Aisha to kind of talk about it. Yeah. So please continue. You
Yes,
tell us
Shazad,
about it.
earlier we had a technique of eyebrow tattoo.
Yep.
So now we are opting for the eyebrow pigmentation. That's a very newer technique, as you can see. And in many Asian people, we have like kind of sparse eyebrows. And many of the ladies, they want to have a longer, thicker eyebrows.
Yep.
So we do it with color, and it stays.
And it stays for how long?
It stays for up to 1 year.
Up to
ठीक है?
1 year,
Yeah.
wonderful.
But accordingly, definitely for the consultation is like really important. Maybe you may be needing 2 to 4 sessions.
Okay,
Or 2
wonderful.
to 3
And what
sessions.
about this hair care?
Hair transformation, and especially a lot of people nowadays, they're vouching for the keratin treatments, and they're also vouching or maybe going for the rebondings and all of. So what is the difference between the keratin, the rebonding, and if you have a really damaged hair, so an extenso obviously, so what would you recommend?
It really depends what our client desire to have it done. There are extenso, there's keratin treatment, there's hair botox treatment. All the treatments have different kind of results. Depending upon your hair, we choose the treatment for you after having a consultation with you. If you are having a damaging hair, there's a hair fall, definitely we are not going to opt for any kind of more damaging treatment for your hair. Which is kind of like extenso is a little chemically chemical
Strong,
treatment.
yes.
That is a slightly chemical treatment. While the botox and keratin, they are more safer treatments.
Right.
If,
Wonderful.
yeah.
And how can,
How
you know, for
long did
everybody
it
who's
last?
actually watching us right now, so I don't know, when, you know, we never had this
Yeah.
conversation, but so if they call you to book an appointment, can you be generous enough and give them like 15% discount on whatever they want to do? Is it possible for you?
Shazad, it becomes difficult sometimes. Yeah.
So no
but,
discounts.
but if you are having a multiple treatments for you, we
So
are here to
they
cater
will
you.
call you that, okay, you know, we saw your show on PTV World and
Yeah.
we would like you to give us any discount.
Yes.
Would you be able
for
to do that?
PTV, we will be obliged to do anything
Thank you so
for
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
very
And
much.
how can they get it or book an appointment?
So we have our number.
Yep.
Maybe do I call it here?
Yeah.
It's
Sure,
0311
Yeah.
492 4446.
4446. For anybody who's thinking of going to, you know, a party or anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, all you need to do is call us 0311 492 4446. You know, the Aisha's Laser and Aesthetics in IAN. Just go ahead and just tell them that you you know, kind of saw her on our show, and that's pretty much it.
Shazad, we are
And
done with the makeup.
yes, we are done with the
right.
makeup. Let's
Please
see.
explain that look, please.
And
So-
also the hair.
Yeah, we did a little hair as well beforehand. We did the body makeup with the glitter on. The eyes, we have kept the lips very subtle, little blush as you could see. And I'm hoping she's liking the makeup. The skin
She
is
hasn't seen
dewy.
it.
Skin is dewy.
Can
Skin
you
is
please show
glowy.
Anam on the PGM as well, you know, so that Anam can actually kind of comment on it. So Anam, you know, it's your turn now, and you can say whatever you feel like. So
Whatever
it's
you feel like.
Yeah.
Where's the PG? Oh. I think it's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I really like the dye of the Anam because brown is my color. But Miss Aisha, please
That's
continue.
not dye, that's my natural.
Okay, we believe in that. That's a natural hair, and we also believe that Allah has created everyone in the best of image, which is His image, which is Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala's image. So everyone is
No, I
created in
was
a
joking,
beautiful
that's
way.
dye.
I know that. I'm trying to cover it out for you. Miss Aisha, please go on. So
Yes.
explain. Do you think that this is the perfect workplace look if someone is working lady and she wants to go and apply that? This is the look that you want to accomplish.
No, we created a kind of party makeover
Party
the
makeup,
hair,
okay.
as we were being told.
Right.
If it's a
So
workplace
what
makeover,
could be done if it's a workplace?
so we are definitely going to remove this glitter,
Right.
this shimmer, and the blush is going to be a little lighter. The
Right.
base is going to be a little lighter.
Right.
The skin is going to be dewy, glowy, but the base is like a little heavier here
Right.
as well. Yeah.
Right.
Ah, that's wonderful. So Anam, congratulations and thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you
our
so
time.
much. Thank
Sairapi, thank you so much.
Thank
And thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much,
Thank
Mrs.
you,
Aisha
Shazad.
Farooq, for
Thank
being
you
with
so
us.
much.
Lovely to be in conversation with you. Haja, I guess your next stop today happens to be Aisha's Laser and Aesthetic. Is it or not?
Definitely, because I think people who are working in media, they need a very heavy investment on
And
this.
then there are
skincare.
hydrofacials and I don't know what's going
yes.
on there.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I'm really obliged, and definitely I will avail the one. And obviously nowadays, as we talked before, that skin is the largest organ of your body, right? And it is the amanat of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So make sure that you look after that amanat of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, because don't take any of His blessing as granted, right? And with that, we will once again thanks all of our guests for coming here, for sharing their thoughts on their skin care treatments and how to look more prettier. And with that, we will bid you farewell and wrap up our segment. So until next time, it's a goodbye, Allah Hafiz, and good morning.
Morning. Have a great day.